the card and go round by round to relive the action you want to see. Only with DAZN.
We make it official today, gents.
Yeah? It gets no bigger than this. Like, I'm buzzing. Just give me that first bell of the first fight now.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What a finish. Fantastic goal. For Barcelona.
Playing a Clasico on Camp Nou means everything. Most of these players are Barcelona fans.
Fue increíble, la verdad.
He was born to be the phenomenon. In the space of 6 years, he'd gone from being a raw novice to going in with one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
This is all about the fan zone, and we want everyone at home, don't we, to get involved. Scanning that QR code for our UK and US viewers, get involved. We want to know what you guys are thinking.
Just did this to that fight.
Utterly ruthless. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now! So close. How do you like it? Off the shoulder. So aggressive, so focused. Look at these two guys. Still the undisputed champion of the world.
And we are back in Sin City and have touched down inside the brand new Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas for a show that looks to usher in exciting young names atop some of the flashiest divisions in boxing. And it centers around Richardson Hitchins' return to Vegas as the headliner. He will take on Gustavo Lemos this Saturday night from Vegas on DAZN. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the brand new Fontainebleau Hotel. It's Justin Shackle getting you set for Matchroom's Fight Week press conference as we get ready to christen the Blue Life Theater with its first ever boxing event, with its first ever sporting event. So you have an exciting new venue. That means we need to flood it with some young, exciting names within the sport who are looking to push their names into the respective conversations for their weight classes here in the sport. And obviously that centers around Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos going at it in the IBF title eliminator at boxing's hottest weight division, 140 pounds. A potential date with Subriel Matias, the world champion, could be in line after that fight. The co-feature, Diego Pacheco, Sean McCalman, two undefeated fighters as Pacheco looks to continue to strengthen his name in the conversation at 168 pounds. But let's take you through what is in store for Fight Night, beginning with Before the Bell coming up at 5:40 Eastern, 2:40 Pacific, Vegas time. we will see Mark Castro in the featured bout on Before the Bell. But before that, Harley Medeiros back in the ring, taking on Pedro Vicente. The pro debut for the 13th-time amateur national champ Steven Navarro. He'll be taking on Jose Lopez. And like we mentioned, Castro going for his first pro title. He will be in the ring against Abraham Montoya at 130 pounds. And then the main card gets going at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Sky Nicholson is on her dream's doorstep. A WBC world title fight for Nicholson as she'll take on the former IBF featherweight champ Sarah Mahfoud. Galia Fai back in action, look to continue to make his case at flyweight as he takes on another tested, experienced opponent in the 21-1 Augustin Gauto. Diego Pacheco, Sean McCalman, like we mentioned. Pacheco coming off his best performance of his career against Caceres in Los Angeles, an event he headlines. He co-headlines this one with Richardson Hitchins, looking to back up all the talk that's got the attention of the champions at 140 pounds. He will be in the ring with the undefeated, hard-hitting Gustavo Lemos out of Argentina. So coming up here with this press conference, you are going to hear from all of those fighters, along with Eddie Hearn. We'll have Eddie back up in studio near the end as we get rolling. We'll have the weigh-in tomorrow, and then it is fight night on Saturday night here from the Fontainebleau. Without further ado, let's toss it up to Eddie here in Vegas.
Thank you, Justin, and welcome everybody here to the incredible Fontainebleau Resort in Las Vegas. I think we'll all agree, everybody who's been lucky enough to stay here, by far and away the best hotel, the best resort, the best facilities in Las Vegas. We can't wait to give them their first ever live boxing event, their first ever live sporting event this Saturday, live around the world on DAZN. Of course, DAZN, the home of boxing, an incredible schedule upcoming. There isn't a major fight around the world that is not on our platform. And of course, this Saturday in Las Vegas, before we head to Manchester next week for Jordan Gill against Zelfa Barrett. Then, of course, from there, the schedule is endless. We've got huge fights coming up with the likes of Taylor against Catterall, Fury against Usyk. We're in Liverpool on August 27th. And of course, August the 20th in New York, Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia at the Barclays Center. Huge fight, all live on DAZN. The schedule doesn't stop. Here to talk about a big card on Saturday night as some of our fighters look to establish themselves in the world leagues. And of course, 3 fighters up here, all looking either for shots at the world title, and for one of them particularly looking to capture the coveted green and gold world championship belt as well. We'll start with Mark Castro. Welcome, Mark. A big step up for you. Abraham Montoya here as well. This guy has a defeat over Luis Alberto Lopez, who right now is probably, arguably, one of, behind Raymond Ford, the best featherweight on the planet. Big step up for you. Time for you to fight for your first championship on Saturday.
Yes, I feel good. Thankful to be here. All glory to God, and we're looking to get the win over Abraham Montoya this Saturday.
It's been a great progression for you. Fought on some huge cards. You've seen a lot of your USA boxing teammates, especially Ray Ford and those guys, capture world titles. You feel like now's the first and the right time for you to pick up your title?
Yes, definitely. We're moving as a unit. You, Keith, we're all ready to, my dad, ready to go capture our first belt.
What are you expecting from this guy? Every time you fight, it's all action. You got another Mexican in the opposite corner from you this weekend. All action fight from Mark Castro once again.
Yes, I hope, I expect him to be ready. He always comes ready, so I'm prepared for that too.
Well, Abraham, welcome. We have Kieran here to translate. Big opportunity for you, some big wins in your career. For those of us that don't know about you, we expect war from you on Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Sabemos que es una gran oportunidad para ti, has tenido unas victorias muy buenas en tu carrera. Para las personas que no saben mucho de ti, ¿qué podemos esperar? Una guerra, supongo, el sábado por la noche.
Pueden esperar la mejor. Pueden esperar la mejor versión del Philly Montoya. Vengo a buscar una victoria más.
You can expect the best version of Philly Montoya. I'm coming for another victory in my career.
Abraham, tell us about that win over Luis Alberto Lopez. Everybody looks at your record. You know, you've been in some tough fights, but you have victories over arguably one of the best featherweights in the world.
Háblanos un poco de tu victoria frente a Luis Alberto López, porque tienes, bueno, cuando miramos tu récord, es una victoria muy buena contra uno de los boxeadores en peso superpluma mejores actualmente del planeta.
Pues él es una oportunidad que yo tuve en mi ciudad donde yo vivo y pues la acepté con muchas ganas y le eché todas las ganas, igual como en esta oportunidad. Yo vengo preparado y listo para lo que sea arriba del ring.
Yeah, so that was an opportunity. I got to fight that in my home city, and it's an opportunity that we accepted and we took on with full gusto, as I will do for this fight. You know, I think we're really prepared. We prepared really well for this fight, and we're ready for whatever comes in the ring.
Well, thank you, Abraham. Abraham Montoya against Mark Castro opened the broadcast on Saturday night on DAZN. Great fight. Also, this one, a great fight. The WBC World Featherweight Championship between the #1 ranked fighter in the world against the #2 ranked fighter in the world. Exactly how it should be for the vacant championship. Sky Nicholson from Australia against Sarah Mahfoud. Sarah, welcome. We've seen, of course, this is an elite matchup. You know, two of the best featherweights in the world looking to fight for the world championship. You've been world champion before, just one defeat on your record to Amanda Serrano. Ready to go on Saturday night, trying to become a two-time world champion.
Yeah, true. I'm going all the way on Saturday, and I really look forward to this fight with Sky.
Talk to us about that Serrano fight. We know you took that fight on fairly short notice as well, but had success in the fight, won rounds against Amanda Serrano, and this is a great matchup between yourself and Sky Nicholson.
I don't know if it was a success against Amanda. I lost the fight, but I'm here to become world champion again, and I feel like I have learned a lot from that fight, and I'm going to come back stronger, and I worked hard to be here.
And finally, the opportunity for a lot of people on this card to fight in Las Vegas. I know when we were negotiating with your team, of course, you've got Australia, you've got Denmark, but to fight in Las Vegas, every fighter's dream.
I'm so happy to be here. This is the biggest experience at all, so everything is just big, and the fight is going to be a big fight too.
Thank you, Sarah. Sky, welcome. Faultless so far in your professional career, 9-0, the step up that you wanted. Great fight on paper. A lot of people very, very excited about this matchup on Saturday.
Yeah, as soon as Serrano wasn't going to be the person I was fighting for this belt, Mahfoud was obviously the next option for us. She's the next best. We want to fight the best. We want to beat the best to show that I'm the best. So I'm very excited about this fight.
Obviously, it's an amateur, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, world bronze, Olympian, but in the pro ranks, which is now obviously your complete focus, doesn't get much bigger than the WBC world title.
No, it's a great privilege to be fighting for this belt. My amateur career was my amateur career, but I want my pro career to be its own, and I feel like I'm very ready for this.
And finally, I was going to say probably a week ago that Australian boxing is flying, still flying, but 3 defeats in world championship fights. Obviously, Liam Wilson, great performance. Michael Zarafa and Tim Tszyu all losing in their quest to defend or challenge for the world title as well. Bad luck does come in threes, but be sweet for Australian boxing to capture a world title in Las Vegas this weekend.
Yeah, I'm turning around Aussie boxing this weekend, 100%.
Well, great matchup for the WBC world title, Sky Nicholson against Sarah Mahfoud. This fight also very important in the WBC rankings. One of our biggest stars in boxing, Galauya fight, Olympic gold medalist in Tokyo. By far his toughest fight so far against Augustine Gauto. Augustine, welcome. You know, vastly experienced, 21-1 against someone who is making his way in the professional game. Huge puncher. Looking forward to the challenge on Saturday night.
Agustín, en primer lugar, bienvenido. Obviamente sabemos que eres un boxeador muy experimentado. Tienes un récord de 21-1 y obviamente vas a enfrentar, siempre tienes poder de golpes también, una oportunidad para demostrar lo que puedes hacer el sábado por la noche.
Sí, bueno, gracias primeramente a mi equipo, a Chino Media Promotion, gracias a Mushroom por esta oportunidad. Bueno, yo también tengo un poquito más de experiencia en profesionalismo, pero sé que él también tiene experiencia de amateur, así que bueno, vengo preparado.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, I have to thank my promotional team, also Matchroom as well for the opportunity. Yeah, it's true that I'm a very experienced fighter, but we also know that he's very experienced in terms of the amateur field as well and the experience he's got there. So we're very prepared for this fight.
One thing that Galao loves to do is to come forward. He's all action, throws a lot of punches. They tell me you're an exciting fighter as well, heavy-handed for a flyweight, and this is going to be an all-action fight.
Sí, esta pelea va a ser una pelea de toda acción. Sabemos que Galal tiene muy grande volumen de golpes. También me dicen también que tú eres un boxeador que excita también bastante. Podemos esperar un buen espectáculo sábado por la noche.
Bueno, el sábado va a ser sorpresa el resultado, pero va a ser una gran pelea sin duda.
Yeah, on Saturday you're going to see a surprise result, but one of the things we will say, you're going to see a great fight without doubt.
And finally, when I posted your head-to-head, I was just infiltrated with Argentinian support. Obviously, Gustavo Lemos in the main event as well. Very popular young man in Argentina. A lot of Argentinian fight fans tuning in to see if you can be victorious at the weekend.
Sí, cuando publicamos la cara a cara, recibí como un montón de mensajes de argentinos también. Lemos también de main event. Vamos, eres un chico muy popular en Argentina y están todos luchando para que ganes el sábado.
Sí, bueno, agradecido a la gente de allá de Argentina. Gracias a Dios me sigue mucho. Pero bueno, ahora espero hacerme conocido acá también.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to all my Argentinian fans. I'm really delighted and grateful for the support that they have. But now it's about becoming known here as well and making a name for myself here.
Thank you, Augustine. Galal, welcome. Definitely the coolest man in the room. So quiet, so chilled, so relaxed, but starts to get real on Saturday night. Faultless so far in your pro career. Got a lively one this weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's good to be here in Vegas. Put me on some good shows now. New York, Vegas. I've got with a box stick there, but it's just about winning, looking good, and that's all I care about.
One thing we see in the smaller divisions all the time is the opposition is always game. Last time out in Phoenix, you know, an opponent that you won nearly every round against, but was there till the last bell. This guy, tough, all action, heavy-handed as well. Going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm sick of him, man. All tough. But I just got to do what I do. He's tough. He's good. He's got a big fan base, as I saw yesterday on social media. But I don't care about any of that. I got to go out there, do what I do, and I can enjoy myself after.
I know all the focus from you, Rob, and the team will be on Saturday night, but the matchups around your weight class are just breathtaking. You know, I know there was talk of Sonny Edwards, but the World Championships becoming vacant from Bam, who's stepping up and fighting Estrada. If you keep winning, the mega fights are all lined up for you.
Yeah, I always look at them fights. You know, obviously Sonny Edwards, he's a good fighter. I don't want to try and mention his name this week to try to get a bit of clout, because I know what he's like. But let me get through this fight and then I can think about them fights after.
Well, we expect an all-action fight. Galal Yafai looking to fight for the World Championship in 2024 against Augustine Gauto in a great fight, as is Sky Nicholson against Sarah Marfoud. And look out for Mark Castro against Abraham Matoya. We're going to have head-to-heads up here before we head to the two co-main events. Thank you.
So all six fighters on the dais getting ready to face off with their respective opponents coming up on Saturday night. Again, it begins with Before the Bell. Coming up at 5:40 Eastern, 2:40 local time here in Las Vegas. You'll have Harley Sederos, you'll have Steven Navarro going up against their respective opponents, and then Mark Castro, who you saw and you see right there in your picture, and Abraham Montoya. Again, Montoya, a fighter who stopped the current featherweight champ, Luis Alberto Lopez. Castro finding a home at 130 pounds. Looking solid here at fight week. This will be his toughest test to date as he looks for his first pro title. Castro coming in at 11-0, 8 knockouts. Montoya 22-5-1 with 14 KOs. He is fighting in the U.S. for the 4th time. And then we talked about all of these fighters seemingly on the doorstep to big things within their respective weight classes. Well, it's here for those two fighters who you see right now. Sky Nicholson, Sarah Marfoud for the WBC featherweight title on Saturday night, kicking off the main card on DAZN. Marfoud at 14-1, Nicholson 9-0. Sky's looking to lock up her first world title as a pro, a little over 2 years after making her pro debut. Marfoud looking to become a 2-time featherweight champion. She previously held the IBF title several years ago as she would look to put herself back among the elite at featherweight. Gal Yafai, Augustine Gauto 21-1 with 15 KOs. Another test for Yafai as he looks to build up that resume, and you heard him talk about it near the end, and there have been those whispers, he and Sonny Edwards, but it all business Saturday with Yafai and Gauto in front of the former Olympic medalist. Yafai 6-0, 4 knockouts, trying to make his 5th successful defense of his WBC international flyweight title, 112 pounds. Very exciting at the moment. We saw Gal Yafai last in action in Phoenix, like Eddie mentioned, on the Bam Sonny undercard. He took down a similar opponent in terms of profile with Rocco Santamaro, completely outboxed him. Now he goes to face on a tough Argentine in Gato as we get set to hear from the 4 fighters that will make up our co-feature and our main bout on DAZN on Saturday night. Diego Pacheco, Sean McCalman, and then it will be Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos. But Pacheco coming off a terrific and so far career-high performance against Marlon Coceres. You saw Diego's wife and newborn baby girl Divine in your picture moments ago. And Diego, cool, calm, collected, not just as a fighter now, but as a father. Kind of a new chapter for this young man as he looks for big nights ahead at the 168-pound division. We've heard him clamor for the big names. He mentioned Edgar Berlanga after his latest win. He also mentioned Danny Jacobs' name earlier this week. He wants those big fights at super middleweight, and this is a step closer to getting there for the LA native. And he'll be going up against the 15-0 Sean McCalman in that co-feature. You talk about Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos, another tough Argentine on this card, 29-0, plenty of knockouts to his name. This is going to be a test for Hitchins as he looks to put his undefeated record on the line and continue to steam forward toward a world title shot. That one, of course, the IBF title eliminator that we have been talking about, but with Diego Pacheco, again, holding some regional straps, world title contention is right there. Again, just 23 years of age. We sometimes lose sight of that because of all that he's accomplished already. His stature as a super middleweight, a tall 6'4" super middleweight, something that is a unique foe in front of these opponents at 168 pounds. So we're going to see how that figures itself out on Saturday night. Let's go back to the stage with Eddie as these 4 fighters are ready to roll, and we continue things here at the Fontainebleau.
Thanks, Justin, and welcome back to Las Vegas, of course, this Saturday, live from the Fontainebleau, live on DAZN around the world. We have a fantastic night of boxing. We just saw 3 tremendous undercard fights to discuss. Now we go to the main event, the co-main event, whatever you want to call it. What I want to tell you is up here, we have 81-0. 4 fighters who are undefeated, looking to establish themselves and challenge for the world title. 2 great fights, Diego Pacheco against Sean McCalman, and of course Richardson Hitchins against Gustavo Lemos. These 2 guys to my right, we believe the future of boxing in this country. Richardson Hitchins did everything as an amateur, from the same kind of mould as Shakur and Devin and all these great fighters before him. Diego Pacheco signed with us when he was just 17 years of age, now 20-0, and I believe ready to fight for the 168-pound World Championship in 2024, Los Angeles own as well. 2 very game, very live opponents looking to chase their dreams and establish themselves as major names in the sport. We'll start with Diego Pacheco against Sean McCalman. Sean, 15-0, big win for you last time out on overtime. Some people looking at you as an undefeated fighter and a big underdog in this fight, but you and your team walking around the Fontainebleau, lapping it up, look excited, look confident, ready to go on Saturday night.
Absolutely. I can say my team, as well as myself, we walked into this very confidently, accepted the fight with no kind of doubts or second thoughts. And we're just continuing to present ourselves that way, confident, calm, and we're going to the fight the same way.
Big fight for you after that win, but you know that a victory over Diego Pacheco would put yourself in line for a shot at 168-pound World Championship. And I don't know if it will change your life, it will change your career, it will change massive opportunities for you moving forward. It's a big fight on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big fight, big opportunity, one that I believe I'm ready for and will capitalize on come Saturday night.
When you look at this guy, obviously very tall, rangy, good power as well. You see weaknesses, your team see weaknesses in this still young man, but 20-0 now, establishing himself as a bit of a name. You guys got the game plan in place to take on Diego Pacheco.
Without giving anything away, like I said, we came into the fight confident, accepted with no second thoughts, and plan to take advantage of those very things Saturday night.
Thank you. Diego, welcome. Sometimes I still see you as that young 17-year-old kid who came into the office. Now you're a man, you're 20-0, your life has already changed. You're walking around, you know, with your young baby this week and your big Great Dane dog, and, you know, all of a sudden I'm thinking, wow, this man, he's moving towards a middle-aged man. You know, Jose Benavidez and the team doing a fantastic job in camp, but everybody in boxing knows that you are on the path to greatness in this sport. Every fight is dangerous, especially against an undefeated fighter that's coming to change everything.
Yeah, for sure. You know, first of all, I want to thank God, thank my team, Matchroom, DAZN, everyone for this amazing opportunity, you know, to be here once again in front of all of you guys. You know, it's a blessing, you know, and I'm super confident in the work I put in this camp. You know, I'm getting better. I feel the sharpest I've ever been right now, and I'm just ready to go Saturday night. And like you said, yeah, you know, I'm 20-0 and ranked in the top 10 in every sanctioning, boxing sanctioning thing, whatever it's called. Yeah, and yeah, you know, I'm just ready and excited for what's to come. You know, I have a tough opponent in front of me Saturday night, and that's what I prepared for, and I'm ready for it. And you guys will see Saturday night.
Last time out, headlined in Los Angeles at the YouTube Theatre. We know that's the plan for later in the year. You know, we were having a conversation with yourself and Jose last night about, you know, Berlanga and Charlo and Plant and all these guys that you want to fight, but you're not overlooking this man. These are the kind of banana skins that can disrupt all those kind of plans. Heavily focused for the job on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I told you yesterday, you know, right now I'm locked in on the guy in front of me. I know I have to get past him before I can even think about those future fights, and that's what I'm focused on. You know, that's what I've been working for, and I'm extremely just motivated and excited for this fight, and to showcase my talent once again here in Vegas at the Fontainebleau. It's an amazing opportunity, and you know, to have a lot of young talent on the undercard. You know, like Steven Navarro, a kid I grew up with. You know, seeing him make his debut on my card is just amazing, and I'm extremely happy to be here and ready to put on another great show for all of you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Steven Navarro and Harley Medeiros as well on Before the Bell. Great fight, 20-0 against 15-0. Diego Pacheco against Sean McCalman on Saturday night. We go to the main event. Great fight. Final eliminator for the IBF Super Lightweight World Championship. The man to my right, Richardson Hitchins, 17-0. The man to my left, Gustavo Lemos, 29-0. The battle of the undefeateds up here on the main stage. Gustavo, we'll start with you. Welcome. Massive support for you coming from Argentina, 29-0. Your time has come to step on the global stage, the big time boxing here in Las Vegas. Are you ready for Saturday night?
En primer lugar, Gustavo, bienvenido aquí a Las Vegas. Estás teniendo como un apoyo enorme de Argentina, 29-0. Ahora es la oportunidad de subir una subida de escalón para ya entrar en las grandes ligas, el Big Time boxeo de Las Vegas. ¿Estás listo? ¿Estás preparado?
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes para todos. Sí, estoy recibiendo un muy buen apoyo de Argentina. Venimos bien preparados para este gran combate y bueno, y gracias por la oportunidad.
Hi to everyone first and foremost. Yes, as you say, we've had some great support from Argentina and we're fully prepared and ready for this big fight and this great opportunity. And I want to say thank you also for this opportunity.
We know you have solid wins on your career, particularly back beating Lee Selby in Argentina, but outside of Argentina, now against a very good opponent, but victory on Saturday would give you a shot at Subriel Matias for the IBF world title. It would put you in Richardson Hitchins' position for the WBC world title as well. A massive fight will present itself if you're victorious at the weekend.
Sí, sabemos que has tenido resultados sólidos, sobre todo en la pelea que tuviste con Lee Selby, ahí en Argentina, pero fuera de Argentina, si llegas a ganar, la oportunidad que tienes aquí es tener una oportunidad de pelear por el título que tiene Subriel Matias, también volver a estar o estar en la posición en que está Hitchins para pelear para el título del CMB también. Una oportunidad enorme para ti si llegas a vencer a tu oponente el sábado por la noche.
Sí, estamos muy contentos de poder tener esta oportunidad, ¿no? Hitchins está en el medio, así que venimos por la oportunidad para ir por el título del mundo. Así que bueno, esperemos que el sábado salga todo bien, que la gente se vaya contenta con el espectáculo y mucha suerte.
Yes, of course, it's a great opportunity to go in and win this fight and going to have big opportunity in the future. Hitchins is in front of me in the way of my path at the moment, so we hope we can get through this, and we also hope that the public or the fans enjoy the fight, enjoy the show on Saturday, so good luck.
My final question, this man to my right, he's talking about Devin Haney, he's talking about Matthias, he's talking about Sandor Martin, everybody. He thinks you cannot win this fight on Saturday. Are you ready to shock the world in Las Vegas live on DAZN?
Sí, el hombre que está a mi derecho aquí dice que está pensando en Devin Haney, Subriel Matías, también Sandor Martín, pero tú estarías preparado para dar la sorpresa el sábado por la noche, vivo por DAZN y sorprender el mundo.
Sí, venimos a ganar, así que bueno, nosotros hablamos arriba del ring, este rival parece que habla mucho abajo, así que bueno, esperemos que siga hablando lo mismo arriba, ¿no? Que salga linda.
Yeah, of course, we've come to win, and I do my talking inside of the ring. It feels as though my opponent likes to do a lot of his talking outside of the ring. But let's see if he's still speaking inside the ring. That would be beautiful if he's still talking in that ring.
Well, Richardson. I know you got a lot to say, but I know you believe it. A lot of the boxing world believe it. The step up is there on Saturday night. Is it a step up? You're always confident, but as far as you're concerned, we're heading for a Richardson Hitchins masterclass on Saturday night in Las Vegas.
First of all, I just want to thank God for being here. But I want to say this is my third fight with Matchroom. My fourth fight. My life changed.
Second headline.
Yeah, second headline. My life changed tremendously. I'm a different man from that guy. I was sitting at a table going back and forth with Montana at that time when I was telling you I'm the best fighter on that card and I should be the headline. And I worked hard and spoke it into fruition. I mean, at this point, I could say I've been here already. I've been here already before I was even signed with you. I said this the last press conference. I said this numerous times over again. I beat former world champions. I beat guys that were big punchers. I beat undefeated guys. He's never been here. This is a whole different level. He's never been punched in his face. I've been punched in my shit hard. Like, coming up 10-0. This guy, everybody he fought had terrible records. It's a difference. When you get in here with me, it's going to be a different type of game. Power is not going to win you this fight. Being aggressive and just trying to go to the body, that's not going to win this fight. It's going to take him to have that mind and that experience and that skill set to go in there and compete with me. I expect Saturday night to be a whitewash and me show that I'm on a whole different level. The only thing that could save him in this fight is his heart and if he could take a punch. And I seen him hurt with bums. I never been down in my career. I never been hurt. Thank God. But we'll see what happens Saturday again. I just feel like I'm on a whole different level. I'm on the level with the Devin Haneys, with the Subriel Matias, with the Shakur Stevensons, with the top level of the guys. I am cream of the crop type of talent. And y'all guys got to start talking like that because I go out there over and over and prove it. I dominate. They had so much to say about my last fight. It was a domination. This fight again, I expect another domination, and that's it.
We know last time out against, thank you, by the way. Maybe a little bit more confidence would be good, but I thought that was a good start. We talk about those names. Is this the kind of fight? Zepeda, you were very good. You won every round against him. Do you think you got to go in and dominate, break this guy down? Are you looking to get him out of there on Saturday night? I guess sometimes the criticism, even with Devin coming through, was you're schooling these guys, but we just want to see you step on the gas and take these guys out. Is that in the mindset on Saturday? I know it's always win by any means, but that would be a major statement to get this guy out.
Man, this guy come out the way he been coming out with all his last fights. He fight me the way he fought Lee Selby. It ain't going to go good for him. Lee Selby hurt him in the third round. And I ain't know Lee Selby. Lee Selby's 35 years old, coming up from 126, drained. This guy ain't never fight nobody. This guy, like I said, I'm going to step on him on Saturday. And I ain't going to lie, Eddie, I'm really robbing you. This is free money. That's how I feel. Yeah, it's easy money. It's free money. You just making my bank account look bigger. But I mean, hey, I don't want to come up here and just talk shit, try to amuse the fans. Like I said, I'm not somebody that just talk. I proved myself already. It's time to just get to that world stage and prove myself there. With guys like this, I already proved myself. I proved myself with the Zapatas, with the Argentas Mendezes, with the Bowsers. I proved myself, man. And like I said, I'm gonna continue to prove myself each and every time I go out there.
I know the focus is on Lemos on Saturday. This guy's coming with everything, but you do talk about those names. This fight is a final eliminator for the IBF World title. It would give you a guaranteed shot at the winner of Subriel Matisse against Liam Paro. It would also put you in a great position with a WBC to fight for a vacant belt. In your heart of hearts, and I know this is the focus on Saturday, do you beat Subriel Matisse? Do you beat Devin Haney? Do you beat Ryan Garcia? Do you beat those elite guys?
I beat whoever you put in front of me. Subriel Matias, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Pitbull, whoever you put in front of me, I'll get the job done. Like I said, when you get in there with me, fighters don't look the same. I'm not none of them guys he fought, none of them guys Devin fought, none of them guys that's just gonna just receive punches or I'm just a guy that's just there. It's going to be some shit coming back at you, and there's going to be a lot of thinking you have to do in there. So my focus is not on no Devin Haney. My focus is on Gustavo Lemos. That's the focus. Saturday night, we got to get past this, just like I had to get past all the other fights I had.
Thank you very much, Richardson. Thank you, Gustavo, as well. As I said, 81-0 up here. Someone's O has got to go between these four. It's a thrilling fight card on Saturday night, live in Las Vegas from the Fontainebleau. Do not miss it. Wherever you are in the world, live on DAZN. We're going to face off with these four guys up here now. We'll see you for the weigh-in tomorrow in here and a brilliant night of boxing on Saturday. Thank you.
Richardson Hitchins has time and again explained why he belongs in the same breath with the Devin Haneys, with the Subriel Matiases, with the Ryan Garcias, whomever you want to stack up with him at 140 pounds, and he has a chance to punctuate that in this title eliminator on Saturday night. But first up, it is the co-feature. There you see Sean McCalman and Diego Pacheco, two undefeated fighters at 168 pounds, as Pacheco puts his regional belts on the line yet again, an inch closer toward a world title shot that could be coming over the next 12 months or so. That's what's so intriguing about this card Saturday night. Where are these fighters going to be 1 year from now? It's an exciting, intriguing point to think about, but on Saturday night, they're all going to be at the same venue here in Vegas at the Fontainebleau Hotel. So Pacheco and McCalman, long stare down as we inch closer to fight night on DAZN. Pacheco coming off that terrific 9th round stoppage over Marlon Caceres. McCalman with an impressive showing in the overtime series on DAZN. There you see Richardson Hitchins getting set to try and improve to 18-0. Gustavo Lemos 29-0, going for win number 30 in his first ever fight outside of Argentina. And you also see the height difference here between Hitchins and Lemos. How will that factor in to the inside game, where the power punching Lemos will ostensibly try and find himself on Saturday night against Hitchins, who features that terrific jab, powerful right hand, knows his distance inside and out. What could go down when these two square off in the main event at the Fontainebleau? So some good words and a good stare down to wrap up the press conference here at the Fontainebleau. Good miniature war of words between Lemos and Hitchins, as Richardson always brings the heat at these press conferences. And this obviously will be for the right to fight the winner of Matias and Paro at 140 pounds. Boxing's hottest division at the moment, and it will all lead to the big showdown in Brooklyn, April 20th. Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia.
We had great fights in the amateur, no doubt. We need to fight. Hey, we're good fighters. Let's fight.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 20th, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia.
These two have been going back and forth since the amateur days.
Two generational talents, the world at their feet.
Let's make the fight happen now.
This one is going to be a grudge match.
Set to ignite. Devin the Dream Haney, living the dream. Multiple world champion, undefeated.
I am the man. It's time for me to show the world how great I really am.
Ryan Garcia, lightning fast, explosive, unmissable, going all in.
This is the year I shocked the world.
A world championship is on the line, but only one can wear the crown.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation. I'm telling you, it's special.
This one.
Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia on DAZN Worldwide from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn on April the 20th. All eyes will be on that 140-pound showdown, but all eyes will be here on the Fontainebleau in Vegas on Saturday night as Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos tango here in the IBF title eliminator. We got Eddie Hearn here in studio. As we get rolling, size everything up like we always have to do between you and I.
No problem.
Yeah. Camera angles all good to go. All right, Eddie Hearn here with us at the Fontainebleau as we get closer to fight night in Las Vegas. First of all, brand new facility, brand new resort, and it goes in line with this fight card because you have a lot of new exciting names in the respective weight classes.
Listen, Fontainebleau have really looked after us, but genuinely the best resort I've ever stayed at in Las Vegas by a mile. The gym, the restaurants, the rooms, and by the way, the venue. It's going to be a great fight card on Saturday night. This place hopefully going to be very important to us moving forward in America. And I think, like I said, a little bit of a sleeper card on Saturday. I think this is a fantastic night of boxing. 5 cracking fights for the main card. Some good action on before the bell as well. Really looking forward to some defining nights for some of the opponents and of course, the main event fighters on Saturday.
It could be immediately defining for Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos, the IBF title eliminator. We know what Hitchins has been able to do, and he's been growing significantly since fighting under the Matchroom brand. What challenges does Lemos present for Richardson?
You know, I think that Richardson talks a great game, and he truly believes it. You know, you get a lot of fighters in boxing who talk a great game. Do they really believe it? This is a guy with pedigree. Richardson Hitchins is a guy of the same mould as Devin Haney, of Shakur, of all these great USA boxing guys that came through over the years. He has a similar IQ. He has similar fundamentals. Lemos is just going to bring that rawness, that toughness. He's probably a little bit out of his depth. He's his first big fight outside of Argentina, but he's ranked the leading contender with the IBF. You know, he's earned this shot at a final eliminator. The winner fights the winner of Subriel Matias against Liam Paro. So for him, it's a golden opportunity. The style should suit Richardson. What I want to see from Richardson is I want to see him close the show. You know, he really did school Jose Zepeda, but he couldn't get him out of there. Against this guy, I want you to soak it up, show your boxing IQ, break him down, beat him up, get him out of there, stand on the corner post on Saturday, and call out those big names, because the big-time boxing is coming for Richardson Hitchins. He's a star of American boxing.
Yeah, time and again, we always talk about the need for fighters to impress, but when boxers are so close to earning what they want, how important is that? You mentioned that, but for matchmaking purposes, for putting it out there.
Look, I mean, you look at Hitchins, you look at Pacheco. But, you know, I was talking to Jose Benavidez last night. Yeah, we want Charlo, we want Plant, we want Belanga. I'm like, these are the kind of fights where you can really slip up. You know, you got 20-0 against 15-0. You got 17-0 against 29-0. You got 81-0 in the main event and a co-main event. Like, these guys are no idiots. They're there to change their life. They're going to be throwing down. They're going to give it everything. And for Diego, sometimes you can just overlook these kind of fights because you're thinking about the next headline in Los Angeles. Focus on Sean McCalman, which he will do. Coming off a good win, he's a good athlete. But you're going to see, in my opinion, you're going to see 2 outstanding US fighters that are going to be around for a long time. These 2 are young men that are going to be, in my opinion, ruling divisions for a long time to come.
In that win over Caceres in Los Angeles, Pacheco, the headliner there, he admitted he took some flush shots for the first time in a real fight, and the defense was something that he worked hard on during training camp. What other finishing touches do you have to kind of see from Diego for other fighters to sort of worry about him as a complete fighter?
I think that sometimes, you know, again, when we signed Diego from 17 years of age, I sometimes look at him still as that young man. I'm like, are you tough enough? And in the Caceres fight, we saw him come through that just little spell of 1 or 2 rounds in the middle stages of the fight where he was getting hit too much. He came through the other side, he soaked it up, he showed a good chin, and he knocked Caceres out in stunning fashion. So really, when you have the fundamentals, you have the power, and you have everything else, the only thing you need to show me is how tough you are. You know, and the Caceres fight went a good way to doing that. There's still another level of toughness. You know, I believe Diego Pacheco, if he has that dog in him, which I know he has, I don't know if you've seen the size of his Great Dane, but this kid's going to be, as I said, around for a long time. I used to look at him and think this guy was going to be a cruiserweight. You know, to see him stay around that 168 limit and to see him make that weight well is so exciting because, you know, those names that I mentioned, Berlanga, Plant, Charlo, Benavidez is obviously in the same team, but there's so much action around 168. Once Canelo Alvarez probably exits the sport in a year or two, all those belts are going to go up in the air, and Diego's going to be right there, ready to challenge for them.
And it's something we don't talk about often with Diego, how easily it makes it seem to make 168. Yeah, and here he is again, no problems, obviously going
up. Like McCalman's a big guy, and then you see these two go head to head. Diego's a monster, and he will be 175, no doubt about that in time to come. But right now, I'm looking forward to the 168 charge.
All right, Galliafai going up against, I feel like a similar fighter profile like Rocco Santamaro, who he outboxed in his last fight in December. Here you have got to a tough Argentine. Am I accurate in that assessment? Is it kind of a similar profile?
I think this is a more exciting fight. I think Rocco San Martin was a little bit older. He had a little bit less ambition. He was unbelievably tough, and that's what I said to Galao. Like, Galao hit San Martin with everything and couldn't get him out of there. This guy comes with good support from Argentina. He's a very, very big puncher, and they're all tough down there in the flyweight and super flyweight divisions. Galao, who is still learning as a professional, is moving like a train. Honestly, like, I love the fight with Quadras. You know, we talked about the fight with Sonny Edwards. Galao is 1 or 2 fights away from all of those fights. He's going to be around for a long time at flyweight, at super flyweight. His dream is to be a multi-weight champion. You saw him win gold in Tokyo in the Olympics. This is a class operator. It's going to be a great fight, by the way. It's going to be all action because every Galao fight is all action. And Gauto is coming to bring it on Saturday night. And that'll be a real entertaining scrap.
Another very experienced pro in front of Galliafai for Saturday. And we have a world title at stake in our opening bout on the main card. Sky Nicholson going up against the former champ Sarah Mahfoud. Nicholson has clamored for these tough tests. She seemingly had it in Lucy Wilder, and we saw what she was able to do there, answer the critics over in Ireland. Now, in front of her as a former champ, she says the better opponent in front of her, the better version of Sky you see. What do you see in that last fight, and what do you see here?
I think anyone who has that amateur pedigree, and don't forget, sometimes people don't realise that Sky had, I think, over 140 amateur fights. You know, she won Commonwealth gold, world bronze, she was in the Olympics. She has the pedigree and the experience. So sometimes the more orthodox a fighter and the better the fighter, the better you are against that style. Sometimes they're trying to survive, they're scrappy. Mahfoud's a little bit of both. She's a very good fighter. She's 14-1, just 1 defeat to Amanda Serrano. And she, you know, I said, you did well in that fight. She said, I didn't, I lost. She still won 3 rounds against Serrano. It was very competitive. So, you know, this is the kind of fight where you can show your levels. And if Sky's good enough, you know, it'll be a superstar statement on Saturday night to capture the World Championship. She's chasing down Amanda Serrano, and once you get the strap in the division, it starts to give you a little bit of a platform to scream and shout. But as I said, you know, 3 Australian fighters lost last weekend, so she's looking to put it right for Australia on Saturday night. A really good fight, as is Mark Castro against Abraham Montoya. Montoya, you know, with the victory over Luis Alberto Lopez, you know, arguably one of the best 126-pounders in the world, and he's up for it. He's really up for it. It's a really good all-action card on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question about Castro. We can end it there, where he features the before the bell context. 130 pounds, the end point for him arriving at that weight. What type of damage do you think Castro can do at super featherweight?
Yeah, you know, I mean, he's all action, isn't he? You know, the only worry with Castro is that every single fight is pure entertainment. You know, he sets the jab up nice, and then he likes to get stuck in, get in a pocket, trade. You saw him get dropped, you know, earlier in his career in that fight, and in fact done so well to get back up and win that fight. Montoya's a threat. Montoya's a danger. You know, these kind of guys, if you've beaten Luis Alberto Lopez, trust me, you can really fight. And it's a good solid test for Mark Castro's first championship on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to it.
Mark Castro talked about living the life at 130 pounds as a true professional, maintaining that weight, and we will see what happens with him on Before the Bell. 3 cards on Before the Bell, then the main card on DAZN at 8 Eastern. Eddie Hearn, living the life here in Las Vegas. Eddie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That'll wrap it up here for our press conference from the Fontainebleau. Be sure to join us for the weigh-in tomorrow, same times, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, as we lead you into Fight Night in Vegas here on Saturday night for Hitchins and Lemos on DAZN. Also, don't forget, May 18th, Big one over in Riyadh as we get to see that heavyweight clash that we have been waiting for. It is Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk.
Live on DAZN worldwide main. The fight of the century. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Tyson Fury looks to reign as king of the division. But Alexander Usyk is undefeated and coming for the crown. For the first time in over 20 years, all the belts are on the line. Ring of Fire.